Hey guys, Nova Bushida here and welcome back to the channel. And for today's video, it's going to be the second one in this series of Monster Hunter Difficulty. And I wanted to talk about something I hope that does return, which is hyper monsters. Now, I'm a big fan of hyper monsters and I want to show you why. So I'm going to have some stuff playing in the background now. So if you don't know what hyper monsters are basically monsters who, similar to tempered monsters and in some aspects apex monsters from 4U, where they do more damage and they're faster in general. But hyper is something very, very interesting, a bit different than the other two systems. Where in GU for hyper, there would be these quite big red spots on the monsters themselves. I think 2. Each monster would have 2. And basically what this would do is if you hit those spots, it would recharge your hunter arts faster, which is a cool aspect. You know, it's really good gameplay to risk and reward. Hit those spots, fight harder monsters so you can do more damage. But on top of that, it can also make a monster faster or slower. It's not always just, you know, faster, they do more damage. It depends. It depends on the moveset. Like, I'm going to show you this clip of Rajang right here. Now, look at Rajang and how long he takes to use this freaking lightning blast. Like, it takes him a good while. And it's interesting. The reason I like it so much that some monsters do this, because some monsters, it doesn't just amplify their speed, like I said, it makes them slower and faster. Or yeah, it can do either one. And it can really trick up hunters. For example, when you're trying to counter this move, or you're trying to dodge a move, it can really mess up your iframes, your dodges, and so on, your blocks. So many situations. They can really impact you with some insane damage back. So I think that's going to really mix up hunters. Similar to how Almudron really mixes up hunters and how Magnamalo really makes up people, you know, the first good amount of times they fought them, because their moves sometimes are slower than expected. So you try to counter, expecting the moves to come out faster than they normally do, but they don't. And it kind of throws you off. So I really like that. So Rajan is a really good example of that. Then we got Deviljho. Deviljho is another fantastic example with his Dragon Breath. Charges up for a good while and yeah, massive damage. Pretty much blowing people up. And Nibbles Nuff is another good example of that. But then you got some monsters who are faster, like, well, Nagakuga. So it depends on the monster. Now, Nagakuga is super fast with hyper. He'll just be jumping around, doing more damage. She'll really, you know, put you on your edge of your seat. So it really mixes up the dynamic of each hunt, which I really love. And then the last one, which is probably the most interesting to me, which is ones like the elemental skills. So Zenoga and the Guy Chris, when they're using their lightning attacks, like, oh my god, you can see how massive. Look how massive these Zenoga Thunderballs are. Like, oh, they take up your whole screen, literally. Freaking hell, I loved it. It's such a good mechanic to really mix up how the monsters actually fight. It's not just about damage or speed, like I've been saying. It also mixes up the dynamics of how big and the range of their moves, the elemental moves. The Guy Chris is the same. When he uses his lightning attacks, mostly the ones that explode across the floor, it's just so big. So big, and the lightning's from the sky, massive size. So you really need to think about your positioning much more than you would otherwise. And on top of that, they do so much damage. I think currently in Rise, we're missing this type of system. We don't have tempered monsters, we don't have hyper monsters. We have, you know, the Apex monsters, which are, you know, they're not the same as 4U Apex. They're more like deviant Rampage monsters, which are great, but you can only do them in Rampage. So, and they're very specific in where they show up. So I think, and I do think definitely something like hyper monsters or tempered monsters will come back to Rise. As you can see in the Hunters notes, someone else pointed this out. I think I first saw this by the Tasker's video on this. He actually says next to every monster's name, it says the word normal, indicating that there's going to be another type of form for this monster, and it's for every monster that has this, every base normal monster. So no, even Elder Dragons, it doesn't have it for Apex monsters though. So I'm presuming there's going to be something that comes. I don't know if it's going to be in 2.0 or 3.0. I'm guessing 2.0, but it seems that something's going to come to really mix up the difficulty for monsters. And I think that would be great. What the game needs for coming to a more difficult game, and for endgame for people who are looking for more of challenge and more variety to fight. Hypers in GU also gave a reason for people to go back and hunt easier monsters, because it would continue to upgrade their weapons. So things like let's say for the Royal Luger, for example, his weapons were amazing in that game because they kept upgrading to the end through hyper. There was many iterations of upgrading weapons through his hyper counterparts or other hyper monsters who added onto his weapons. On top of that, it can really make smaller monsters shine in the type of damage they do, these type of systems, and even increase their speed. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with that, and I can't wait to realize that. But yeah, let me know below what you guys think about this. Another short video on this series. I'm hoping the next series will probably come out, the next episode in the series will probably come out next week, and I'll let you know. Yeah, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below, tell me what you think, and I will catch you guys later. See ya.